Talk to me a little bit about, because this is another issue that we see, is these scoring integrations. Obviously, some integrate better than others, but how do you kind of work out the differences between the two, whether you're connected to the scoring or not, or you're just doing an overlay on top of it? Talk to me a little bit about how you guys approach that.
That's a sore subject for me. So the largest request that we receive by volume is for sure an integration into a lane management system, so they can, customer books a reservation, it's going to automatically send it over to your lane management system, queue up that event, you're ready to go. That reduces the manual entry that your staff would need to do. So it's something that, I would really love to be able to build into AlleyTrak. Haven't had a lot of traction in the industry at this point. We did make some headway with Steltronic, which super excited to build out an integration with them to allow that sync of data from AlleyTrak into their product. So that's going to be a huge win for a lot of businesses. Currently, what businesses are doing, right, is they take their reservations, they get them created in AlleyTrak, they enter over the phone reservations into AlleyTrak, and then when the customer checks in at the counter, they're viewing that reservation in AlleyTrak on another computer or a tablet, potentially even the same computer where they're using their scoring system, and then they just shift that event and create it in that scoring system. So it is a manual process. It's not something that is ideal, I'd say, by any means, but our price offering makes it attractive and reasonable to go through that pricing or to go through that process. Right. And then I think also the flexibility, the capabilities to customize AlleyTrak to fit all of these custom events that you're going to offer makes it a very attractive service compared to other reservation systems.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, do you do like dedicated lanes that are based only on the booking, or how do you resolve like the walk-ins versus the online bookings? Because I've heard of different ways to do it, especially when it gets busy. But blocking them out, is that how you guys usually do it?
Yeah, so we have a feature in AlleyTrak called Reservation Blocks. It allows you to create reoccurring events and block out lanes for specific periods in time. So the initial implementation of it was built for things like league, saying, hey, I need to block out lanes 1 through 16 for the next 16 weeks. So really easily create something like that. And the other use case for it commonly is for walk-in buffers. So you might say, we have 32 lanes. We want to set aside at least 8 lanes on the weekends to make sure we have some room for walk-ins. And so you would just kind of prevent the number of lanes that can be booked online for reservations and just leave those available for walk-ins. We also have a couple controls around same-day bookings. And if you want to take a same-day reservation, you can put buffers in effect. So you might put a 2-hour buffer in effect saying that you need to book more than 2 hours in advance. That gives you some wiggle room, so you don't necessarily need to create your walk-ins into AlleyTrak. You can just put it straight into your scoring system. And that's just a good way to juggle the lack of an integration, really. So good process. Yeah. I do typically recommend you always offer same-day reservations or current-day reservations. It's a good surprising number of reservations are booked for the current day. So just making that available so people can book online and just get that prepared. But some businesses just choose not to take same-day reservations. And I will add real quick, you can customize it at a very high level in AlleyTrak. So you could say open play bookings, you can do same-day bookings within the next hour. But maybe like birthday parties, you need to book 6 hours in advance, 2 days in advance. You can pick all of these different configurations on a per event basis, so you can define, how it's going to be offered and when.
That's nice. So it's pretty granular as far as the controls on what can be booked when.
Right.
And now, so are you recommending typically about an hour for the same day? Like, what's the typical cutoff, or what do you see people like to use?
Probably the default or the common setting that I would see is about a 2-hour buffer. And I would say, what is the longest you typically see for a walk-in event? If someone's going to come in and just grab a lane for a period of time, how long are they typically there? And so 2 hours is usually that sweet spot. So you could go on the more aggressive side, right, and do like an hour. So then it just requires a little bit more closer eye as you're doing check-ins for potential walk-ins.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So just making sure that you have a little bit of buffer.
Hey, did you like this video? Great. We make 10 of them a week. Subscribe to learn more and keep learning about what's working in the industry. Talk to you then.